It's the coach, and this is the 2018 season on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Mark Ingram, fresh off a big performance a weekend ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the New Orleans Saints. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you look at this Saints team as they interplay. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go. They've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Returning it, John Ross. They'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, let's see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And they'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. On third down, he'll drop the throw. Over the middle here to Brown. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Being chased out left. He's got a man. That's caught left sideline. So not only do they convert on fourth, but they pick up 22 yards in the process.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on fourth down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on fourth down here early in the game.
They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and that's going to make it second and 14. Now it's Breida. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him 14 on the play. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now third and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I'll take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Back to throw here. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you've got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing, so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game.
And Rudolph has it left side. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And so far, a very nice, methodical opening drive.
This has the feel of a scripted drive that they rehearsed perfectly all week long, and now they're executing it on game day.
Script looks good so far. Back to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Big completion there on third and short, keeps their opening drive alive.
Not only alive, but plenty of possibilities now. First and goal, and you know me, I'm a big advocate. You're going to throw the ball.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Demario Davis. In from his linebacker spot, he's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie that stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, he might be a little jumpy as well. Might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good character.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
That drive just seemed to go for an eternity. I could kind of hear our sponsor saying, hey, we need to get our product pushed here. But then it ends in a field goal.
Yeah, how about that? Not enough time for product placement, but plenty of time to get 3 points out of the deal. I know that the guys on defense, though, they want to get those products out there. They want to stop that drive, just were unable to do so.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
Second down, Rivers. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Rivers from the gun on third down. That's complete to Meredith. The 13 yards that time of the first. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking a fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. Right? We gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't feel like it's the end of the world.
You got some on the table.
Pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that is incomplete. He was looking for his fullback there, Zach Line. And that'll bring up second down.
And that's what he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On second down, Ingram. Oh, a heck of a move. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Now it's a bootleg with Rivers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Left side caught by Diggs. And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Now on first down, he'll drive the throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out. They'll set up a throw. Strong running by Clay. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Clay. Touchdown, Vikings. Charles Clay, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
the reason that counter or misdirection plays work so well is that usually you've given them a reason to think that everything's going to the direction that starts initially. You've run that.
And this throw will be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh boy, you wish you hadn't. And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep, and on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
The Vikings on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
What are you doing?
He'll look to throw. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. They're going to try and throw. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the first down yardage here. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
Not sure I agree with the decision to go for it, but I definitely agree with his decision to run it.
That's clear. You want that? Take that. Let me taste it. Let me taste it.
Picked up that big first down. I think he let his head coach off the hook.
That's what I was just going to say. If there's anybody more happy than the quarterback picking it up, it's the coach that saw him pick it up. On the ground, it's Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Man open right side, it's the tight end play. And down he'll go at the 25. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Eluding the pressure right. And this one is incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They're going to look to throw. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll drop the throw. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back. That makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They'll look to throw again. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Antonio Brown, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Extra point up and good by Walsh. And that makes our score 17-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
He dumps it down to Ingram.
Oh, that's sweet.
What an effort. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a second down throw for Rivers. Over the middle to Smith. And he's brought down. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that...
The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. Eric Kendricks coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Rivers now on second down. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On third down, Rivers. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's complete. They're going to get the first. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They've got a first and goal from the 10-yard line. Rivers now to throw on first down. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. One man in the backfield, that's Ingram on second and goal. Again, it's Rivers. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints. Down here on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third and goal. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Call it a gain of 3. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick is good. But hold everything here. They might have hit the kicker. And if they did, that'll be a first down.
Defense.
Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the wideout Antonio Brown. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
Flushed out right. Wide open receiver complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll look to throw here on first down. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports halftime report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And they have just about gone to halftime with the Panthers out on top. Cam Newton with a couple of touchdown passes there. From there, we head up to our nation's capital to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And that matchup all even in their battle with the Chicago Bears.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Smith. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Anthony Barr coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. You change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted. Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Third and long for Rivers. He goes underneath to Ingram. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down. Back to throw here. And that is incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
O'Donnell is on to punt as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. A first down throw here for Rivers. Gets it to Meredith, complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible. Hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
To throw on third down, Rivers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to make the play. It'll be a loss of 14, and it'll bring up a fourth down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now the Vikings now heading on to the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Brown. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
And there's a man they call AB, always a volume receiver. He gobbles up catches. Holds the number 2 and number 4 spots for most receptions in a season in NFL history. And in 2015, just 7 catches shy of setting the single-season mark for most receptions, currently held by Marvin Harrison, a Hall of Famer.
He had 130, and this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by former first-round pick Patrick Robinson. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Ingram. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And he locates Josh Hill, complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A good pickup there, 20 yards.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
They said it with a chuckle. They call him old reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. But then long, it's marking.
What?
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
On third down, Rivers. This is going to be incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the quarterback.
What did you get right there, the red one?
Into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing
Bring
the ball,
that.
like we saw there. I don't know, the rhythm
Bring
seems
that
off.
one.
He'll field this at the 5. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do you need to do here? But you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. Now that player is able to get on the run.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
I'm sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, and then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that red flag and throw it, you could be costing your team a timeout.
5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse.
It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Back to throw. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He'll drop to throw. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Forced out to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. The 20. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they didn't get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Now Ross to return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Escaping the pressure run. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender. But you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll look to throw here. Buying time to his left. Room here to run. Room to run inside the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter if he needs to make those plays when the lanes go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game.
And he can't find a receiver. He's brought down. In there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding you 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And he's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick when you deliver. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Rivers to throw it. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he comes back with one complete.
Sorry, stop jumping in that sofa.
Good for 8 and a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a
I don't
first
know
and
where.
10 as they search for a late score.
Sanders, man. He was blowing, wasn't he? I was scared to throw to that last.
He'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 14 yards that time, and a play shut it down. Throwing Rivers, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
You wasn't tripping, D, man. I saw it too, man. I was like,
Has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force it into
what's his name? Sanders,
They've been
man.
very
Yeah,
cohesive, knowing each other's moves
Manuel
all
Sanders.
game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. They find some open field here. A big play there on the catch and run. 42 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll throw again. Rivers. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. In for the score. And the Saints get a bit closer.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a two-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a two-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we
Hey,
knew, even before
you can't hear ghosts. If you can't see him, you can't cover him.
their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They'll come out throwing here on first down. This will be caught by Brown. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Over the middle and caught by the tight end play. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll look to throw now on first down. Being chased out left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. The sack cost him only a yard. It's second and 11. Now back to throw. Over the middle here to Brown. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Eluding the pressure. And he can't. He's taken down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man. In there with pressure yet again. And that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll look to throw. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Saints will have the football back. Well, they were 2 for 3 on 4th down tries. Now they're unsuccessful. That brings them down to 50%.
But that's a percentage you have to feel pretty good about. You know, 2 for 3 before that. They finally get stopped again. That's okay. That's the type of team that'll keep pressing listen, in this situation, they'll continue to go for it.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it. Rivers finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down. Clock now under 30 ticks and running. Now Rivers. That's complete to Meredith. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Now you have to like the play call because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Cameron Meredith, the intended target. And now it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Daniel Hunter in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. One last shot now for Rivers. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Minnesota, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they...